Hello, my lovely ladies. Welcome back to the channel and welcome if this is your first time joining us. I am so happy to be back. I literally have been thinking about you guys so much and I'm just so happy to be here. And as you can see from the title of this, I have a special announcement for you ladies, and this is just such an honor and I'm just super excited. So I want to just dive right in and let you ladies know my announcement, which is I have a brand new course. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm beyond grateful and I'm so proud of this course and what I was able to put together. It is a course, well, the course is called The Feminine Way to Date Online. This is something that I have been working on for the last couple of weeks. I think it took about a month to really just put it all together. And it is jam-packed with gems and information that I know you ladies have been asking me and wanted to know. The reason why that I decided to make this my first course, because please believe there will be many more to come. But the reason why I chose to make this my first course is because on our one-on-one goddess check-ins, which I love doing with you ladies, and I really do enjoy getting to know you guys because it kind of feels like we have a little sisterhood friendship when I actually get to get on Zoom with you and talk to you and learn a little more about you and you learn a little more about me. So when I do get the chance to connect with you ladies in that way, the number one thing that has always come up has been online dating. And we spend hours, helping you build up your profile, what to say, how to dress, what to do, how to get a date, how to take it from online to offline, and all of that. And I just wanted to just make a course that would highlight those things and get you ladies on the right foot. Now, in this course, I have everything covered, like literally everything you can think of, any information you would possibly need, I put in this course. It is 3 hours of information, 9 lessons, and you can go back to it forever. You have lifetime access to it. And I take you from pre-date to post-date. So most of any questions that you will have will be answered in the course, and I am so proud of it because I know it's going to change so many women's lives, because I understand that dating online can be very overwhelming, but for me and my experience, it has been probably the best thing to ever happen to dating, because it has turned dating basically upside down and made it so that you have more access to so many dates that you would not be able to access just one-on-one meeting in person. Now, I know some people just like, I don't want to meet anybody online. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do the traditional way, which, okay, respect to you. But I'm telling you, it's 2024. Everybody's online. And if you really want to take control of your dating, you need to be online. You need to, have these tools. And this isn't staying online forever. This is why I created the course. I'm giving you the method. Even in the course, I show you, I get online, I create a profile, I show you the men to choose from. I'm going through all of this. I show you the pictures to choose from. The same thing I would do on a one-on-one goddess check-in with you ladies is the same process I take you through in the course. And it's phenomenal. Like, I have seen so much just change in this circle of online dating and what people want you to do and what people don't want you to do. But I'm telling you what actually works because I've worked it. And I think it's important that I even tell you ladies this, because I'm not someone who, has been out the dating game 10 years, right? You ladies know I've only been married for, over a year, right? So it's not like I haven't been out there in this modern world, in this modern time of dating. I know what's out there. I know how stressful it can be. I know what's really out here in these streets. And I'm telling you, using my method, the method I put in this course, you will overcome any of the issues that you may think, well, not may think, that you probably have went through or feel. All of those issues will be addressed in the course. And again, I'm putting this to modern time. I'm not giving you outdated information. I know because I've worked it and it worked for me because I got married. And you ladies can get the same results as long as you just follow the course to the T, believe in yourself, and let the universe do the rest. And I'm super, super proud of this, and I'm super excited. And I put the link in the chat, and you ladies will see the link in the description. I also, if you are on my email list and you got the love book, you got an email with even more of a description, and I talk a little more about it, and I put the link in there as well. The course is very, very reasonably priced because I wanted to give you ladies something that, you know, you can easily afford. They also have a payment plan on there, so there's really no excuse to why you can't do this. And I wanted you ladies to invest into your dating life. This is very important because you invest in so many things. We invest in our education, right? We invest in our careers. We invest in our health and fitness. But when it comes to our relationships, I think people just think, oh, well, it's just going to happen like that. No, you have to invest in that as well. And you have to learn things, and you have to put yourself in an actual, I'm going to be the student and I'm going to learn these techniques. I'm going to learn what works so I can actually get the results that I want. And yes, I made this very affordable for you ladies. And it's actually 3 hours, which if we did do a coaching call would be even more expensive for those 3 hours. And I just wanted to, you know, put this out in a affordable way where you don't have to go through the coaching call with me. But again, you can definitely do that as well. And you know, if you much rather me just tell it to you, but I'm telling you every single thing that you need to know about dating online, the sites that I recommend that you get on, every single thing. Like there's nothing that's not untouched in that. And it's just chock full of information. Also, I put a Q&A as a bonus in the course. So when you get to the end of the course, you are going to see a Q&A, and that in there, I will put just any questions that you ladies ever ask me. I answer them in the Q&A. Plus, you have access to our private community in the Goddess Check-in private community that's also attached to the course. So you'll be able to ask questions in there as well. So you can actually just ask any questions as they come up, talk about your experience, you know, and I will be on there. I'm on there every day. Like as I was building this, I was so excited because I want to have a community where we can talk about these things, where we can share our experiences and just really connect even deeper. So I'm super excited about that. And yes, ladies, please check it out. Get the course. It's so much to learn from. There's so much information in there, and I'm excited for more to come. Now, we are going to get into this actual video because I felt like this is also something that I didn't necessarily talk about in the course, but this is like a preliminary thing that you need to know before. And these are the do's and don'ts of dating. So let's get into that. As you ladies know, I write down everything. So I have a couple of do's and don'ts. This is not going to be in any particular order because I just kind of wrote everything down as they were coming to my mind. So I didn't put anything in order. And also it's probably going to be like, some of them are like do's and don'ts like mixed in together, but you ladies are intelligent. So you definitely don't need me to tell you 1, 2, 3. You can figure it out yourself. Right. Okay. So I will say the number one don't that I want you ladies to be fully aware of and just really mindful of when you're dating is to not overthink. This is important like in every situation, whether you're dating online, whether you're dating in person, whether you're doing anything, you never want to overthink your dating. And what do I mean by overthinking? I want you ladies to not have a great expectation of who this guy is going to be in your life. You don't know who he is until he begins to show you who he is. So, say if you meet a guy online and you're completely smitten over him, just like online in a conversation that you had. So, in your mind, you begin to think, like, oh my God, this guy is going to be my husband. This guy is so great. That is where you mess yourself up. That is when you start overthinking and you start basically pedalizing this guy to be somebody in your life that actually is not even anything to you yet. And so I think it's important for you to choose better for yourself by actually examining who the person is and what you're actually going to get from them. So that is very important, that you don't over excite yourself. You don't over give them any kind of props or anything before they show you who they are, because we can romanticize men in our head very easily. That is what women do. Sorry, let me put this up. Super excited about the course. Yay, me too. Thank you. That is what women do. We over, excite ourselves. You know, we look at this guy and we think, oh my God, he's the perfect guy for me. I like the way he looks. I like what job he has. I like all of this. And then the whole time when you meet him, he's not living up to your actual expectations. But instead of cutting it off, because you've built him up so much in your mind, you actually feel like you can't cut him off because you want it to work so bad. So then you start making compromising. You start, acting blind to red flags. You start treating yourself less than you deserve just so you can get this guy who eventually will show you that he isn't worth it, and you will have to basically heartbreak your own self because nobody told you to fall for this guy before he actually showed you anything. So that is the number one thing that I do want to start with, is not overthinking it, not putting yourself in the position where you're already falling for a guy that really has nothing to offer you and has really shown you nothing. Okay. And that kind of goes into not prioritizing him before he prioritizes you, because a lot of women will do that. And I get it. When we are, again, upset, I'm not going to say obsessed, but some of you do get obsessed with men. You start prioritizing him. You start saying, like, oh, can we go out? Like, can I see you again? Like, you want to see him so much. You want to go out with him so much. And you prioritize him. You prioritize your schedule to fit with if he's going to take you out or not. And that can drive you crazy. That can make you into a crazy person where you're actually a little bit stalking the guy because you're prioritizing him to be such an importance to your life before he's actually done anything to show for it. So chill out, go with the flow. Don't expect anything from anybody, because you really can't expect anything from anybody, and prioritize yourself instead. Okay. Another thing that I have so much, so I'm like like I said, I'm not going to do this in any particular order. So I'm going to just say them as they come. So another thing that I want you ladies to never do, this is a big don't, is don't drive to the guy for your date. Don't drive your car to meet him on the date. Don't pick him up to go on the date. Don't go on a date in his neighborhood. These things are very important. And the reason why I tell you ladies don't do these things is because you are dating as a feminine woman. That's all I coach on. That's all I teach on, is dating as a feminine woman. When you are a feminine woman, you are the one who is receiving. Now, some of you ladies, you don't want the guy to come pick you up. And I totally get that. If you don't feel safe with a guy coming to pick you up on your date, then fine. In that case, you want to make sure that the date that you guys are going on is in your neighborhood or around your neighborhood, not in his neighborhood or around him mostly, because that puts you in the position where you're going out of your way to go on the date with him when he should be going out of his way to go on the date with you. So if you guys decide, okay, you guys live really, really far away from each other, you guys can meet halfway if that works for you. But for me, especially when I was dating, I was all about come pick me up or come send me an Uber, because I was not going to drive anywhere. I don't like driving at night. And I made it clear to the guy, like, I don't drive at night. But usually it really never came up because the guy would always ask, do you want to meet there? Should I pick you up? And I'm like, oh yeah, you can just pick me up. And he was more than happy and willing to come pick me up. And that actually set us up to actually get a better connection throughout the day, because when a guy picks you up, he kind of has this responsibility in a way where he's like, he's gonna pick you up. That means he needs to bring you some flowers. That means he needs to get out the car and open your door. It kind of sets it up for him to like be a full-on gentleman because he's doing the traditional thing and picking you up. But again, if you don't want to get picked up at your house, you can tell him to pick you up down the street. You can tell him to send an Uber down the street. You can tell him these things. And the way you can get him to send you an Uber is by simply saying, like I said before, I don't drive at night. I don't feel comfortable driving at night. Men understand that. They totally will bend to whatever you want. All you have to do is ask. Don't be afraid to say, I don't want to drive, right? If you really, truly don't want to drive, don't drive. I'm not a huge fan of driving, so I always use that excuse. I don't drive at night, and it's never failed. You can easily say that, and if he doesn't want to pick you up, he will send the Uber, and you guys can get to where you're gonna go. But most of the time, he will pick you up where you tell him to pick you up, because you guys are going out in your own neighborhood. So that is weird if he sends you an Uber close to your neighborhood, but that's always an option if that's what you feel more comfortable with. Now, the reason why I say don't go out at his neighborhood and where he lives at and going to him is because men have this funny thing that if they'll say like, okay, I know a great restaurant, right? And they'll tell you, oh yeah, it's in my neighborhood. You can just come here, park your car at my car, and then we can go to the restaurant. Okay, if you park your car at his house, and you guys go to the restaurant, either before or after the restaurant, you're probably going to go to his house, because that's what men do. They always are going to invite you to go to their house. And because your car is already parked at his house, then it's easy for him to have you come to his house. And most women, I mean, some of us are strong-willed and we know how to say no, and we know how to say, oh, maybe not. But most of the time, women will bend and go to the man's house. And who knows what happens when you go to a man's house, especially on the first date. So you don't even want to set it up that way where he's like, oh, my house is just down the street, and you guys end up on the first date going to his house. So avoid that whole situation right there, and just don't go out in his neighborhood. If he tells you, I have this really great restaurant in my neighborhood I would love to take you to, and you can easily say, oh, well, I have this other great restaurant in my neighborhood that I feel more comfortable going for our first date. So maybe after, if we have more dates, we can go check out that restaurant. You can easily shut it down. But I want you ladies to just be mindful of that, because that is a trick that men use to get you to come to their house. And I know this because it's been tried on me before, and it honestly can work very easily just because you parked your car at his house. So avoid that all the way. Make him come to you. Choose a restaurant in your neighborhood. If your neighborhood doesn't have nice restaurants and you don't live in a neighborhood that you want him to see, you can obviously pick a neighborhood next to you that works better for you. So just, choose better. Don't choose his neighborhood and where he lives. I don't care if he lives in Beverly Hills. I live in a nice neighborhood too, so I would just say my neighborhood. But I just remember, like with my husband, he asked me when we first dated, and he asked me would he like to pick me up, and he picked me up. But obviously, we didn't live like his neighborhood and my neighborhood I lived in were like probably 3 neighborhoods away from each other. So once he came down to my neighborhood, we went to eat around where I live. So that's a clear way. Like once a guy is going to pick you up, he's probably going to pick to eat somewhere around where he lives. Where you live. But if you go to him, obviously he's going to pick a restaurant in his neighborhood, which then allows him to tell you to come to his house. And who knows what will happen when you get there. So just avoid that altogether. Okay. Another thing that you should not be doing at all, anytime you're on any date or dating, is talking about your ex. This is probably the most complaints men give I mean, I have male friends, and they have told me that they absolutely hate when they're on a date with a woman and she talks about her ex. This would make anybody feel uncomfortable. I mean, even as a woman, if you were out with a guy and all he did was talk about his ex or the bad experience about his ex or anything about his ex, you would be completely turned off. You would be like, okay, this guy, I need to get away from him, and because he's not over his ex yet or whatever happened in that situation. So of course, for you, you need to not do the same thing. I don't care if it's a story you want to tell and your ex is in the story. You can change that story so it can be, oh, well, my friend, right? Turn that ex into a girl, turn it into a family member. You can still tell the story, but just give it a little remix. But don't talk about your ex. Don't bring up an ex. Make it so an ex never happened. You never had an ex. And especially if you have some trauma or something that happened with the ex, this is not the time when you're dating, when you're first dating, first, second, third, even fourth time dating somebody. You don't want to talk about your trauma. That is very, very uncomfortable for everybody because not everybody knows how to react to that. And no, not everybody knows how to be empathetic to that. And it becomes very awkward because you don't know the person. So once you start talking about the trauma, and I'm talking about trauma that you haven't healed, like something that, I talk about with people because it's not really affecting me, but I do yoga every day. I practice my yoga every single day, but I started practicing yoga in 2017. And the reason why I practice yoga is because I had really bad anxiety. And instead of getting on medication, I did some research and I found that yoga actually helps a lot with anxiety. And I started doing yoga and my anxiety went away. This is something I would have no problem sharing with someone because this gives them the idea that I'm making a connection with them and they're learning something about me. But again, I've already healed the thing that I was going through, which was my anxiety. So something like that, it makes you vulnerable, but it doesn't make you seem annoying or that you're full of trauma. It makes you seem like, oh, you're a problem solver. You went and you had a problem and then you looked for an alternative way to fix it. That is okay to do. But if you're saying, hey, I went through this and I'm still in pain for it and I go to therapy for it and I'm this, that is something you need to not do. It's very uncomfortable on dates, and men don't really know how to react to that. And women don't know how to react to that either. You guys ever been in an experience where you're talking to someone and then they start telling you all the crazy stuff in their life and you barely even know them, and then you're kind of like, oh my God, that's crazy, right? That's all you can really say because what else can you say? You don't really know this person. So I think it's important for you ladies to know, do not trauma dump on anybody. Don't give them, all your pain, all the things that happened to you with your exes in your past, what you're going through. You can heal those things in silence, but when you're dating, that has nothing to do with that. So don't bring any of your past, your exes, or any of that into your dating. All right. Now, another thing I want you ladies not to do is do not talk about work. Work is probably the most boring conversation to have, especially if you have like a normal mundane type of job. And honestly, unless you are dating, what I call a night, or just kind of a guy who may want to go 50-50 with you, most of the time the guy will not care about any kind of work conversation that you have. And most women don't even want to talk about work because they don't want to talk about the finances, especially the women that I've talked to and coached. They always ask me, how do I get out of telling him what I do? Because I don't want to talk about work and I don't want him to know what I do or how much money I make or anything like that, which I totally respect. And I honestly was the same way when I first started dating. My advice for if the conversation does come up about work and it's not you giving the conversation about work, you can honestly just say like, oh my God, work is so boring. it's not anything that I'm passionate about. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about work, but what I'm passionate about is XYZ. That's a way to change the conversation into something that is more interesting to you and not necessarily about work. Because if you talk about what you're passionate about, it can make you money, it could not make you money, but it's not based on the money thing. Now, men, like I said, they don't really care what you do for work unless they're looking for some of your money, right? Unless they're looking to do 50-50 with you, it's a high chance he doesn't care what you do for work. So with my husband, he already knew what I was doing for work because we met while I was doing while I was working, we met, and he knew I had my own business, and we did not talk anything about work at all. I did talk about his work because men like to talk about their work, and he talked more about that, and it was interesting enough, and we moved on to things that I had more passion about and things that I wanted to talk about that were more interesting to me than work. But again, if you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do, you can just say, very generally what you do and then just move on from the conversation. Do not give him more information about your work so then he can get an idea of how much you get paid or stuff like that. Because I always tell you ladies about the polarity. You're the feminine, he's the masculine. Once he starts putting together that you make a certain amount of money and that you don't really need him and you don't really need him to support you, then he's going to start retracting more of what he believes that it's going to cost to be with you. And you don't want that. You want him to know, like, no, you still have to be the full provider. I'm here doing me. You still need to be that full masculine role. But if he figures out, oh, she's already bossed up, she already has all of this, I don't really need to bring anything. Regardless if he has money or not, that man will start to change the way he treats you. So that is very important to think about when you're really just talking about all of your boss babe moves and how much money you're making or how big your career has gotten. I would stay clear of that because you don't know how he's going to react to that. Some men, of course, will be supportive and just be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's doing great. But again, he will start to calculate your money with his money, and no, that's not a good idea. That's only okay if you guys are married. But a lot of you ladies like to shack up with people and do the whole let's act like we're married before we're married type of thing. So that right there can lead you to, bigger trouble down the road. So I would avoid the work conversation. Even if you like what you do, you can generally just say, I do such and such, but that's not really what I'm passionate about, and say something else that you're passionate about, whatever that might be. It could be something that, you're really not that passionate about, but you want to change the subject, then change the subject into that instead. Okay? Got it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is another thing that I absolutely cannot stand when I see women doing this, and that is over complimenting the guy about his looks. Okay, I have no problem with you saying, oh, you look really handsome tonight. That is perfectly okay. That is perfectly acceptable. But when you go out of your way to say, oh my God, you look so attractive. Oh my God, you're so handsome. You're beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're looking good. Like when you're full on gassing the guy up, you're actually making yourself look less attractive. You're actually putting him to be more attractive than you. So ladies, even if you find this guy absolutely gorgeous, keep your mouth shut about it. The only thing that you can tell him, or you should be telling him, is you look handsome, or you look nice. That's basically it. Like, oh, you look nice. I like your outfit. You don't need to comment on his looks. You don't need to gas him up. It's unnecessary. It's totally unnecessary because men aren't necessarily, you're not on this date for his looks. And if you know me, I always say we're not dating for looks, honey, we're dating for lifestyle. And so in the lifestyle that you want, you're not dating, oh, he looks good. No, you're dating because he can actually provide the lifestyle that I'm interested in having. And this is something that I talk a lot about in the course. So you ladies will get a full deep dive more in depth in the course. But you generally get the idea because I make most of my videos about this, where you're dating a guy that can provide you the lifestyle that you actually want to live. I'm not about any struggle love. I'm not about, oh my God, but we look so good together. No, you're not good together. You guys are struggling. So there's never a time where you're going to be overhyped because this man looks good and you're going to take any of his BS that comes along with that and the struggle that you guys may have to live because you're dating for looks and not lifestyle. So the over complimenting of this guy is very awkward, and most men don't even know how to react to these kind of compliments. They will turn around and be like, oh, thank you. Like, he will start to actually probably not even like you because he kind of feels like, wait, does she think I look too good for her? Because you're kind of giving off that energy of like, oh my God, you look so good. Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here with me. Oh my God, how lucky am I to have you here? Yeah. So calm down on the over complimenting. You can say one time, oh, you look nice or whatever, and that's about it. You don't need to over compliment the guy because it's awkward and it's weird. Now, the guy should definitely be complimenting you. This is something that, I mean, for me, when I was dating, or even still now, like when I get dressed up and me and my husband are going somewhere, I'm going to need him to say, you look beautiful. And he usually does say that. But I love to hear compliments. It gives me more confidence. It makes me feel more better about myself. So a guy complimenting you, and usually he will continue to compliment you because there will be more things for him to compliment you by. He will see you for the first time, right? Give you a hug. He say, oh my God, you smell so great. You look so nice. And then when you're at the restaurant and you're eating and you're talking, he's gonna say, wow, you're so beautiful. These are things that men tend to do. I don't need you to do it. Allow the man to give you the compliments. Allow the man to be technically the man, right? So you don't have to feel like, oh my God, I gotta compliment him. Oh my God, and then he gets weird about it. So just be mindful of that. Okay. Another thing that I do not, and I'm like putting my teeth together about it because it's like, don't do this. I do not like when women try to attempt to pay the bill. This is a tactic that I don't know who came up with it. I don't know why we're playing that kind of game, but this whole act like you're going to pay the bill so he doesn't think I'm broke or that I need this meal, or let me pay the bill because, I'm a modern woman. Like, that's ridiculous. When you're going on a date with a guy, this should be automatic. He should be asking you out on the date, right? You're not asking him. That's another thing. Don't ask these men to take you out. Allow him to ask you. If he's not asking you, then he doesn't want to take you out. But the way to avoid even the thought that he may want you to pay the bill 50-50 or anything like that is by making sure that he's asking you out on the date, and that you automatically, obviously, he would be taking care of the bill. And it's disrespectful if a person is telling you, hey, I'm taking you out, and you try to, no, I'll pay the bill. Let me get that. Let me get it. Give it here. This is something that men do. I remember when I was, bartending like a couple years ago, and men at the bar, they would be out there together and they would be fighting each other to pay the bill. Like, I'll pay the bill. No, I got it this time. And one will be running up to me like, run my Amex, right? Women don't do that. And don't do that when you're on a date. It doesn't put you in a better light. He doesn't think that you're a better woman for it. Men don't think like that. It's just gonna be like, okay, you want to pay. He's gonna actually think you're pretty hard to deal with because you want to be in this masculine role so much. You want to be looked at as this masculine, feminine leader. I don't know. It makes you just awkward, and most men want more of a feminine energy, so they're okay with you not paying the bill. They're okay with you just being grateful that he took you to a nice place and you enjoyed yourself. You enjoyed the meal. You don't have to pay the bill. Don't play the game of playing the bill, because you actually might get your feelings hurt where you're trying to play the game and pay the bill and then turn around and he's like, okay, you got it. Because you never know who you're dealing with until you're actually dealing with the person for real, for real. So be mindful of that. Don't play that stupid game. I hate it. I think it's ridiculous and stupid. Whoever thought of it, ill. It's probably the same people who, never mind. Just, you guys know. You guys know what I'm talking about. And this isn't a dig to, you know, certain type of people, especially if you didn't know any better and you're just like learning this information now. Like, I totally get it. But there should never be a time when you're reaching for the bill. With my husband, like, honestly, I never paid for any food bill with my husband. Never. And we've been out for Father's Day, his birthday, anything that's like supporting him and doing things for him. We've been out and he's always paid the bill. Even if it's celebrating him, he's the one who pulls out the money to pay for the bill, because he already knows, I mean, if I'm paying for the bill, it's still coming from his account, so it doesn't matter. But like, men don't care like that. They're not thinking like, she paid for the bill. And a lot of these guys who try to say like, oh, it would be so nice if she paid for the bill, these guys, you shouldn't even be dating them, because men don't think like that, who actually are successful and actually have money. They don't care for you to pay the bill. So you never really have to think about paying the bill. I've never, ever really ever thought, oh my God, should I pay? Should I not pay? Should I put my card down? Should I not? I never thought like that. Like, I grew up a different kind of way. I grew up, especially in my neighborhood, we had a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and all the time, all the girls in my neighborhood knew, okay, you guys are going to the store. Okay, get us this, this, and this. And the guys would bring it back. If we were going partying, we would already know, like, I don't have any money to get into this club, but whoever is in line with me is probably going to pay for me. And then they would do it. This is just the way that I've always operated, and it's always worked. So as long as you have it in your mind that I'm good, everything's good, like, doesn't matter, you'll be good. But if you have it in your mind, like, should I pay? Should I not pay? Oh my God, then you're setting yourself up for destruction. So don't do that. I need a sip of juice. I actually only have this. This is V8 juice, and it's actually pretty good. I never had this before, but my husband bought it, and I was like, oh, let me try. I haven't like drunk juice at all, but it's pretty good. Okay. Another thing that I want you ladies to be mindful of is you need to be confident in yourself, especially when you're dating, and you need to not hold yourself back because you don't think this person will like you, or you don't think that you're worthy for this person. This happens a lot. I've noticed this so much with women. I would say even with Black women, and where they'll talk to me about dating, and we talk about interracial dating. You ladies know my husband is of European descent, and we're in an interracial marriage. And a lot of women will say, you know, oh, I don't know if white men find me attractive, right? I don't know if I would be his type. And the main thing to know is, like, you don't know who likes you. All you can do is say, I look good and I am open to dating the people who want to date me. I am open to the people who are interested in me. So when you have this idea in your mind that, oh, white men don't like me, or this kind of man don't like me, or wealthy men don't like me because I'm this, or this guy likes this certain type of body shape, or this guy likes this, you're setting yourself up in the worst way, because we really don't know what a guy likes. Like, there have been so many instances where people have told me, there's this guy, and I know there's this guy. Well, this is actually a true story. There's this guy that I know, and before I got married, before I even met my husband, I, you know, would hang out with my friends, and there was a mix of men and women in this group. And one of the guys really liked me. I wasn't really interested in him, but he really did like me. And people were kind of surprised because he's only dated white women. And he was a Black guy, and he only dated white women, but he really wanted to date me, and he really wanted to be with me. But the woman he was engaged to before was white. Every other person was white that I knew he dated was white. And it was like, whoa, okay, so you like her? how do you like her? And what I'm telling you, ladies, is that it doesn't matter what his type is or what you think that he likes and if he would like you or not. It doesn't matter, because when your energy comes in the room and he sees like, oh, she's dope. Like, I like her personality. I like the way she looks. I like the way she dressed. Like, I like her. I would date her. It doesn't matter what you think he liked before you, because the past doesn't matter. Like I said, don't talk about your exes. The way that he treated someone in the past, the way he dated someone in the past, that doesn't apply to you. So you need to just be confident in who you are and just have your head held high and be confident that, hey, this is who I am. If you like me, great. If you don't, even better, right? Because I'm not going to waste my time with you. So that is just how I think of it. I don't think you ladies need to go in there with a defeated attitude where you're just kind of saying, oh, this person doesn't like me. You know, I don't have the body that this person usually goes for, or these kind of men don't date women like me. And you will be highly, highly mistaken. Like, I go in a lot of rooms with my husband, and a lot of those men who are, straight American white men who are completely interested in, black women. And a lot of the women who don't think that these men are even interested in you, you will be surprised. They are interested in you, but you're having this defeated attitude and not really thinking, I have this option. You kind of put yourself out the game before you even play. So I hope that, touches on that a little bit. Now, I want to talk about some do's. And this is important because I want you ladies to really think of these things as a holistic experience when I'm telling you what to do, what not to do, because this kind of can translate in more parts of your life other than dating. So a couple of the do's, which kind of connects to what I was just saying. When you're dating, when you're out, when you're single, there is a big emphasis on your own personal energy outside of dating. So what do I mean by that? A lot of what you're going to experience in the dating world has more to do with what you're experiencing in the non-dating world, in your regular life. So you need to be investing in yourself as just a whole human being, and actually loving yourself and giving yourself the experiences you want to have. So there's so many things that you can be doing in your life that will level you up and give you more confidence, and that will like grow out of you, and people will notice these things about you. So something I realized a lot, because we're me, my husband, and my sister, we taken up golf, right? My husband already played golf, but now me and my sister have taken up golf with him, and now we're beginning our little golfing journey and stuff like that. But when you go to these country clubs, when you see these kind of places where there are plenty of men who are wealthy, who, some are married, some aren't, some, are just in their business bag and they're just trying to get it, they're building themselves, but they're pretty successful. And then there's some, regular guys. But when you go in these circles, there are so many times, and I'm just going to bring it back to us Black women, where there are little to no Black women there. Like, there have been so many times where I'm the only Black person in the room and I'm with my husband, or it's like me and my sister, or me and like some other lady that's already married in there. And I'm like, there are so many other races of women in there, and they're just getting these guys. And that's something that I want you ladies to think of the circles that you're actually in, what you're actually doing when you're outside. I'm not saying you have to date, a white guy or anything like that. But even when I go to these country clubs and I see these places, there are Black men in there. Okay, let me tell you this. This is the kicker. And I know I may get some flack for this, but a lot of people think like, oh, I can't get a Black guy. A lot of Black women want to date Black men. And you say, oh, well, these successful Black men only date white women, right? But when you go in these circles and where they're a part of, there's only white women there. There are only Asian women there. There are no black women. And there's barely any really, really attractive black women, like except for me, right? But they're really, really slim pickings of finding a black woman there. But you will for damn sure see a white woman there. You will see an Asian woman there. You will see a Hispanic woman there. You will see certain types of women there that are not black. And if that's his circle and that's who he's around, then obviously that's who he's probably going to date. So sometimes it's not just the black guy saying, hey, I make this amount of money, now I'm going to go date someone outside of my race. It really turns out that not a lot of black women are even in these circles. And I'm not trying to make this like a black and white conversation, but I do think it's important where you see, okay, I'm actually not just thinking in my head that this guy doesn't like me, but am I around these guys to begin with? Am I actually here where they are? Am I involved in their circle? And if you're not, that this is time for you to get involved. Whatever it is that you may be interested in. Like I said, I just took up golf. So this is a new journey for me of playing golf. And luckily with golf, you don't actually have to be really good. You can actually just still have fun while you're playing the game. And it's an enjoyable thing. So I get to do that. But there are certainly other things that I love doing. Like pickleball and tennis and bike riding. There's so many things that you can pick up as hobbies, as things that you enjoy, and you will start meeting more people. And when you do go on dates, you'll have more things to talk about. So remember that. Melissa Rose, sorry, I'm joining late. Where what exactly? But hi, happy to have you. Yeah, so think about that when you are dating, but not necessarily in the dating field. When you're outside of the dating field, what are you doing for yourself? Are you going to the gym? Are you thinking about your fitness? Are you leveling up your looks? Are you getting your hair done? Doing something that makes you feel better as a woman, that's going to translate more when you're out with these guys and the conversations that you're going to have with them. Okay. Another big do is rotational dating. This is something, I mean, so many people talk about this, but I need you ladies to really, really take this serious, because the main way you can get out of your feelings with a guy, especially if you kind of like him, is to have other men that you're dating at the same time. Because we get so fixated on one guy that if we start dating other men, we then open up our eyes to seeing who really is the right guy for you. Now, if you're just staying like, I'm only dating this guy and I've been dating him for a couple months and he's the only guy that I'm dating, but it's going nowhere. But you don't see that because you're only dating him and it's not really going anywhere, but that's the only guy that you're dating. So you're not really getting to experience any other experience because this is the only guy that you're dating. That's how you mess yourself up. That's how you waste your time. So in a way to get that out of there and actually speed up the dating process where you get to get your match even quicker, is to never stop dating until you find the person who's right for you. So you continue to date. Just because you're dating this guy, that doesn't mean you can't date somebody else. You can still date them. I'm not telling you to sleep with anybody, but you should be dating more than one person, especially if you guys aren't locked down. If you're not heading towards the wedding aisle, then I don't really understand why we're trying to lock down with people who is not locked down with you. That is a way to get your heart broken and your time wasted. So you don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is focus on yourself, enjoy the experience, have fun while you're out, because life is here to enjoy, to experience. So if this guy wants to take you out, go out with this guy, because you're not locked down with anybody. And actually, by doing this, by dating multiple people and you're putting them up against each other, saying, you know what, this guy is actually way better. I like this guy and I met him sooner, but this guy is actually doing way more and he's showing up way better. And I told you, ladies, in my own experience, I was rotational dating when I met my husband. I had a date the day before him. I had him, and then I had a date the day after him. And then he just kind of came in with a storm and was like, every day, like, I'm taking you to dinner. Can I take you this? Can I do this? Can I do this for you? Can I do this for you? And he made it so I couldn't date anybody else because he was just like on it, on it, on it. That's the experience that you need to get. That's how you get out the game, when the person is on it and they're talking serious and they're being serious with you. So yes, let's see. Melissa, it seems like you can even just be running in these rich neighborhoods. People play golf. Yeah, exactly. The thing of it is you can just do everything in the neighborhood that you want to be in, and you will get the experience that you actually want to experience. There's really no way of knowing if somebody likes you or not until you're in their face and until they see you in person. So this is why I'm saying, like, don't be afraid to go after or want what you want. Don't just X yourself out and be like, oh, it seems like people golf, ride bikes, even just run. I think running is a cheap way to get in rich areas and blend in 100%. Okay, so I actually just started running. Last month we actually ran a 5K and I did 35 minutes, which is a big deal for me because in my neighborhood it's like full of hills, like up and down hills. And I did a 5K and it was amazing, right? I was able to do it, and I thought after I did the 5K I would stop running, but I just kind of kept on going, and I've been running. I literally just went for a run today, and I've been loving running. And when you run, like, people, especially men who are out there and they're running too or something, they kind of just like talk to you and big you up and like, oh, like, you're doing great, and they like give you so much energy. And honestly, I'm married, so like, they, once they find out that I'm married, the conversation goes elsewhere, and it's just like, oh, okay, cool. But there have been so many instances where I'm running or just walking outside and the person's running, and they're like, they saw me and then they see me again and they're like, dang, you walk fast or you run fast, like, where are you going? Like, they'll talk more like, oh, you live around here, you do something like that. Easy, easy. And one time that was happening to me, and I was on the phone with my sister, and I was like, literally, you can just be outside and people will talk to you. As long as you're just living your life and you're friendly and you're in your stuff, people will just come up to you and start talking to you. Now, if you don't live in one of these neighborhoods, like Melissa just said, girl, you better go drive down there and go get to running down there. You don't even have to spend any money, or you can just go and be in the neighborhood, do what the people of the neighborhood do, or just act like you live there, run your errands there. It's very, very easy to find people. And like I said, a lot of the people in these neighborhoods, some of them are married. Most of them are probably married, but there are a group that aren't married, and they will be happy to see women who are not married there. Because I know in my neighborhood, most of the people are married here and have children and everything like that. But there are men here that, I mean, they're single and they would love to find a woman. So you definitely can go out there and see for yourself, ladies. But don't be afraid to go out there. Don't be afraid to mingle in the circles that you want to mingle in and be in, because it is so easy to do so. You can go to galas. There's so many, like in my neighborhood, we do a lot of galas and fundraisers and stuff because they raise a lot of money for the education in the neighborhood, because the school system is so great, and it's because we have a lot of private funding. They do a lot of fundraisers and everything, and they just had a gala. Like, these things are always happening in these neighborhoods, where they have galas, they have fundraisers, they have events, and you can easily just get a ticket and go. And when you go, you're gonna meet and mingle with these people, and it's not even really that expensive. I think this year's gala, it was under $100 just to get a ticket, right? If you're going to sit at a table, then obviously it's going to be more expensive, but they have general admission to these things. And the people who attend these things, they're the ones who are actually giving money to this thing. Because like with my husband, he gives money to it because, I mean, obviously we support the school system. My niece goes to the school, like, we actually support the school system, but it's also a tax write-off on the business. So it's good to give to these charities and these fundraisers. So a lot of these guys that have businesses, that have the wealth, that want to give back, that want to get that tax write-off, they're gonna be there. So you need to be there as well. So thank you so much for saying that, Melissa. And I think this is time where you ladies can ask me questions as you go, because I'm coming near the end of this. And I just want to make sure that if you did have any questions, you can just put them in the chat. Okay, a big thing that, again, everything is big. Everything I was saying today, everything's big. A big thing is you want to stay in the moment. This is important because we have a way of overthinking and overdoing it all the time where we're in our minds and we're just like thinking about the future with this person before they have actually showed us anything. And you staying in the moment and you enjoying your time and your day and your life, that's what's actually going to get the person to like you even more. So there was a time years ago, me, my sister, and my cousin, we were going out, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go out, we're gonna be in Beverly Hills, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna go out with no expectations. We weren't gonna have any expectations about the night at all. All we knew was that we were gonna have a good night. So we got really cute. We got dolled up. We first started the night at the Four Seasons Hotel at the bar. We just went there, checked out the scene. It was pretty dead, but it was pretty cool. We were about to leave that, and no, actually, that is not where we first started the night. We actually first started the night at this restaurant. And the restaurant was a restaurant in Beverly Hills. It's an Italian restaurant. And we were there enjoying the night. This guy comes to the table and he says, "You ladies look so beautiful. The next bottle's on me." And he bought us a bottle of, I think we had champagne or wine, and he bought the bottle for the table for us. This is something that happens a lot, right? And especially in the Hollywood, Beverly Hills sector. Okay, then we're like, okay, that was great. That was a nice experience. We finished dinner. We ended up going to the Four Seasons just to like hang out a little bit and enjoy, the rest of our night. No expectations. So we're going to leave there because it's a little bit dead. And this guy comes to the bar and he's talking, right? And he's like, "Oh, you guys are going to leave? No, no, no. Let me buy you some drinks. Let me like take care of everything for you." Okay, fine. No problem. He's like, "Oh, where are you guys going next?" And we're like, "Oh, like we really don't know. We're just out to have a good time." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to the Waldorf Astoria. I'm going to the restaurant there. I would love for you ladies to come with me." Okay, fine. Sounds good. So then we go to the Waldorf Astoria, another beautiful hotel. It's a rooftop situation. We're there, we're enjoying the food, we're, having a blast. This guy's fun. We're hanging out, and his friend is like, "Hey, I'm actually at where was he? He was at Mastro's, which is another popular restaurant if you know restaurants are in LA and Beverly Hills and stuff. Let meet me over there." And he's like, "Hey, I have, I'm with some women here and stuff like that." Okay, we end up saying, "Okay, we like Mastro's, we'll go there." At Mastro's, it was amazing. Like the musicians were there. It was, I mean, if you ever been to Mastro's, it's a fun time. It's, very bougie and all that stuff. But it was a great, great time. And he's like, "Whatever you want," stuff. At this point, we can't eat anymore. At this point, we're just like, "Oh, okay, like no expectations, but this is great," or whatever. And the night goes on and on and on, and we're just having a great time. And then we ended up leaving him and, calling it a night and going home. And like this guy ended up, I mean, weeks, months to go being our like friend who, whenever we wanted to go out, whenever we wanted to do anything, he was the guy that we contacted. And he would just take us out, and we would just be like, "Hey, we want to go out." He's like, "Okay, meet me here." The night, amazing. And that's what I'm saying. I say all of this to say is that when you're just in your vibe, when you're just in the present moment, you're going to get to experience things with when you have no expectations, when you're not putting any pressure on yourself, but you're just like, "Hey, I'm beautiful, I'm enjoying my time, this is what I'm going to do, I'm just here to have a fun time." You're going to get that experience, and you're not even going to realize how it's going to benefit you more and more down the road. And that is very, very important, especially when you're dating and you're single, that you're enjoying your singleness, because you're not going to be single forever, especially if you want to, get married and settle down, have a family and all that stuff. You're not going to be single forever. So this is your time to actually enjoy yourself and meet people and actually get to experience singleness and free and all that stuff where you're not thinking about somebody else. And me, I mean, I'm okay because I've already experienced these things. So now being with my husband, I'm completely content and happy being with my husband because there's nothing that I miss in the dating world, because I experienced great experiences in the dating world. I've been to, you know, Spain on trips, in Mexico and the Caribbean, and like I've done all of that, and I've done all the single stuff that you can do, the travel alones, the just single retreats and all that stuff. I did that already. And now that I'm married, I get to have a completely different new experience with my husband. And we get to experience things as a couple together where I'm like, okay, this is enjoyable now because I already know what it feels like to do these things as a single woman. And the experience, I'm telling you, you get a completely different lifestyle once you start meshing with someone else, and you have to be considerate of your husband, and you have to be considerate of what it looks like to come to decisions together. That is a completely different lifestyle. And I'm not saying it's a bad lifestyle. I'm saying it's different, and that you need to enjoy your time now as a single woman and start having the experiences you truly want to have. So that's why I tell you, ladies, don't go and lowball yourself with these whack dates, these guys who want to give minimal effort, that they're like, hey, let's do coffee, or these guys who have no career, have no future, have nothing really going for themselves, but they just want to hang out with you and sleep with you. Don't shoot yourself in the foot for some trash type of guy just because you think you're lonely. Actually go for the quality, go for the experience, and you will see that you actually are enjoying yourself and you're getting way more out of life and your dating life. And then that way, when you do find your person, when you do finally get married and get what you want, you're going to be very, very sure about this person, and you will have no doubt in your mind. So I hope all of this helps, because I honestly just, I'm so excited about the course. If you ladies are just coming in here, I just dropped my brand new course. It is The Feminine Way to Date Online. In this course, I give you literally the blueprint to dating online. This is pre-date to post-date. I give you the information that you need to take your dating life to the next level. This is modern time information that has been put to the test, that I even use, that I tell and coach the women who get their one-on-one coaching with me. They get this information, and it's amazing. It's 3 hours, 9 lessons, bonuses. There's a private group inside, so you will be able to have a private community where you get to chat with me, ask any more questions. We get to just work together even more deeper. And honestly, this is a huge, huge deal, because this is something that I offer one-on-one with women. And in this course, you're basically getting all of that, and you can just go back and watch it again if you need to rewatch any of the sections. I actually get online for you ladies. Like, I actually opened up an account, wrote in the account a bio, not my real one, showed you how to set up an account, showed you actually what sites to be on, showed you how to get on account, showed you what photos to pick, what photos not to pick. I used my own real photos to show you what I would post and not post. Went through the guys, checked out every guy, and showed you why I was picking them and why I was not picking them, how to actually choose real successful men, how you can see between their photos, because we know men don't know how to post good photos. I showed you that. I took you from the conversation stage online, how you can actually get that offline and get him to take you on a really nice, proper date, what to talk about on that date, how to dress on that date, what kind of conversations to have on that date, to the post date, what happens after, how did we get this date to go on further, all of that stuff, plus a Q&A. I mean, I literally put in every single thing that you ladies will need in that course. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. It took me about a month. Like, I literally took a full, like, it could have took like 5 weeks. It was like 5 weeks. So like a little bit over a month of just putting this whole thing together. Like I said, it was so much video content, and I put real examples. I put links. I put every single thing you may need in this course, and I'm so proud of it. And honestly, the price of it so reasonable, so amazing, because I wanted as much women who needed this course for them to be able to get it. There's a payment plan in there, so you don't even have to pay the full amount. And honestly, if I took the same time coaching you one-on-one, you ladies know it would be way more money. And this is just my way of reaching more of you ladies with this information, because I want you all to have this. I want you to have the blueprint, so then we can get in a little more deeper and get actually what you want, because this is me right here. Like, I know this stuff. Like I said before, I'm not like far out of the game like some other people, right? Like, it wasn't that I'm married 10 years and now I'm telling you what to do to get a man. No, I was in the game like 2 years ago. Like, I got engaged in 2022 and got married in 2023. So I was in the game not too far long ago. So I have the modern, sorry, guys, they're always doing renovations in my house. We are renovating the bathroom now. So sorry if you hear stuff, but like I was saying, I am fresh out the game. I've been married for over a year now, but I know all of what's going on in these modern streets, and I know how to get what you want in today's time. And I actually have methods that truly, truly do work. So ladies, please check it out. I'm so excited for it. Catherine said, I agree. Make your single life enjoyable before your partner comes along. Exactly. 100%. You have to make your single life enjoyable. That is number one, because you're the only one who can enjoy your life. You're the only one who is experiencing your life as you. So you might as well make it something that is enjoyable to you. And having fun is the key to everything. Like, once you're having a good time, people gravitate towards you. People want to be around you. So that is very important. And like I said before, this course is investing in your dating life. A lot of people will invest in everything else they can possibly think of, and forget about their dating life. They think like, oh, it's just gonna come out the air. I mean, a lot of people don't even leave their house and think like, dang, I want a man, but they're not willing to do the thing to get the man. And I think it's important to have the coaching, because for me, like, I've actually been doing this fitness course since January 1st. Okay, I'll give you a little quick story. So I have been into fitness for a very long time. I've worked out for, I would say, maybe over 6 years now. But I kind of just left it to my own devices and just did my own kind of workout and stuff like that, and got great results. This year, I wanted to take my fitness to the next level, and I wanted to train like properly and just train with someone that I actually respected. So I invested some money and got this trainer that has a course out, and I got her course because I respect her. I love her body. I love her mindset. I just love the way that she trains and works out and how hard she goes. So I bought the course, and it's a 12-week course, and this is actually my second round of it, and it has taught me so much about fitness, about myself, about what my body can do, about just having true strength and real training, like how I can go in the gym and be so confident and lift with the guys. Like, I'm not lifting as heavy as them, of course, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm activating. I know, like, I have a set plan every day of what I'm going to be doing in the gym. And I have so much confidence, and it exudes out of me. Like, people in the gym don't even know that I'm on this like course and I'm training with the trainer and stuff like that, but they just see me killing it, and they're like, dang girl, like, you go hard every day. Like, they're seeing the results, and obviously I'm getting the results. Like, my body looks amazing, and they're seeing the results, and they're like, dang, like, they don't even know that I invested money to get this knowledge so I can be confident. And so that is why I think it's important that you ladies, like, if you want to really just get the dates, get your single life to level up, to be confident, to find the partner that you actually should be with and that you want to be with, that can give you the lifestyle that you want, this is the course for you. This is how you're going to actually start getting what you want, because I put it all in there for you. I made it so easy. I took the guesswork out of there. The same way when I go in the gym, I don't have to think about what am I going to do today. It's right there for me. The information is there, and that's what I wanted to give to you ladies. So thank you so much. The link is in the chat. It's in the description. It's everywhere you need it to be. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I finally can put this out for you ladies. I've been working so hard on it, and just grateful to all of you who already signed up and are in the course. And I will definitely see you in the community over there, because that is going to be my new favorite place to be. And I will still be here. Obviously, I'm going to be here more consistently. I just haven't been able to make videos because all my video making has been for the course. But now I am here this week for you. So I will be back probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. But yeah, thank you ladies so much for being here. I don't see any more questions, but that's totally okay. You can write them in the comments and I will respond. All right. So yeah. I will see you tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Bye.